Chains by Boss. Chains by Boss is now the official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. If you need your custom cowboy chains, you go to Chains by Boss. You can find them on any of your social media. You can find them on TikTok, Chains by Boss on TikTok. You can find them also on Instagram, Chains by Boss, and you can also find them on Facebook. Chains by Boss will deliver the hottest new cowboy chains for you, and we recognize them as our official Cowboy podcast sponsor. Thanks. And always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace. The Cowboy Up podcast would love to welcome Vosqueros Gang as our official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. Vosqueros Game has all your custom stickers, your custom towels, your custom tumblers, anything you need to represent your team, such as those Dallas Cowboys or even those hated San Francisco 49ers. Vosqueros Gangs have you. You can find them on all social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. The Cowboy Up podcast welcomes Vosqueros Gang as our official sponsor of the show. As always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace.
I know that's a cliche, but we must win. We will win. Win is the name of game.
Check it out.
From Stop 6, Texas, it's the big fella. It's Dallas Cowboy Chris. And from the 915, El Paso, Texas, it's 21, Armando 21. And from the capital city of Texas, Austin, the Hill Country, is our man, Retrofit Sports. It's Rue. And from the great state of Arizona, he's Mikey 520.
Stephen A. Smith will admit this team right here is legit, cause this is our year. This is our year. No wonder they be hating, cause this is our year. This is our year. This is our year. It's time to finish this fight, cause this is our year. The name of the game is win, we them Cowboys. First down, second down, we them Cowboys. Third down, touchdown, we them Cowboys. Everybody over here be some Cowboys. We be die hard, we be die hard, we be that blue.
Now, I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone. Without this thing being about me in any way, if you don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable. This is as big a risk as you could take. As big a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience. Now, let me share something with you. With all of that, you've just heard him reference his osmosis, his family. Anybody in this room that doesn't believe the apple doesn't go far from the tree has missed it someplace down the road, especially if there was an effort to make it that way, and there was an effort. But then you go around to the countless numbers of coaches that Shotty has served on staff with and been around, the countless players. How often do you have someone that has 25, I'm going to say 25, it may be 26, of years of working through the human relationship and working, aspiring to learn, of have his ears and eyes wide open and looking for techniques and looking for things that make coaches better?
Well. Welcome to the Cowboy Up podcast, man. We got so much heat today to talk about. It's gonna be a fun show. But hey, man, let me introduce the crew to you, man. From the Hill Country of Texas, the capital city Man, straight off his vacation. Happy birthday to our man. It's Retrofit Sports. It's Rue. What's up, baby?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. It was the last thing I expected to come home to, but I'm good.
Little bit of gray right there.
Oh, it's been there, dog. They've been wearing on me for the last 29 years. What you mean?
Man, and our player personnel director from the great state of Arizona. It's our man, Armando Kuiper, AZ. What's up, Kuiper?
What's good, fellas?
Man, shit. We about to get into what's good and what ain't.
Oh, yeah.
And also from the great state of Arizona. Man, we've been missing him for the last couple of weeks, but he's back. It's our man, Mikey. 528. What's up, Mikey?
I don't know, man. We gotta have some corrections on people knowing how to use like air quotes, misunderstanding how to use it. So, but it's good to see you guys. Happy birthday, Rue. For real, man.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, are you talking about this?
Obviously, we're also evaluating where it didn't go right, in terms of, this drought that people say we're in terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
Is he talking about fake people or the fake drought?
I don't know.
People. What do you mean, you people? Cowboy fans?
Because the drought is real. I mean, it's the realest it's been in a long fucking time.
I'm talking about a 40-year-old virgin.
Dude, man. Hey, I know we gonna get into the press conference, all right? But let's get into since Rue and Mikey have not been here. Okay, I need to get y'all initial reaction. We'll start with Rue on the hire of Schottenheimer. Rue, what was your initial reaction when you heard the news?
Why? Just why?
Why
You
not?
you didn't interview anybody. You expect me to believe you did your due diligence with this? You were never going to hire Dion. Dion was going to cost you $10 million up front. You were never going to hire Dion. Robert Saleh, and then you never. I mean, obviously, Aaron Glenn went to the Jets, and it's just like you never shot at Ben Johnson. Never shot. There was so many different coaches you could have shot at. We went internal, and it was the last internal that I thought it was ever going to be. It was Brian Schottenheimer. What?
You already got his name wrong.
Schottenheimer, whatever the fuck they call his ass.
He's making her.
I swear I heard somebody call him Schottenheimer, but I guess it's Schottenheimer, isn't it?
You don't remember his father?
I remember his father.
remember Marty?
That's why I was confused when I heard it.
Marty
I was like,
was
I thought it
Marty
was
was a great
Schottenheimer.
coach. Yeah,
His
Marty
daddy was a great coach.
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
not his daddy. He's not his daddy. This man has been in the league since 1997. And there's a reason he's never been a head coach. And we'll get into it because I have it all in front of me. Because before I got into all this, I really wanted to look and see what he's done as an offensive coordinator. Because he's been an offensive coordinator a good chunk of his career. I hate really counting these last two seasons just because he was under Mike McCarthy and this was really Mike McCarthy's offense. But when I go through this, it's really funny because the trend is the same. It's crazy.
It is. All right, Mikey, you've been gone about 3 weeks now.
Yes,
I want your initial reaction when your phone was alerted and all the Dallas Cowboy news started ding, bing, 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 bing. When your phone hit, what did you think?
Well, first of all, let's break this down on the way this broke down, the way they released this, right? The way they did this. They did this on a news dump. For Jerry Jones, the guy that loves all the attention, that wants us, that released the Mike McCarthy news that next Monday, overshadowing the divisional playoffs or going into the playoffs. This was weak as hell. He thought he would backdoor us. He thought it would go under the radar, that we would talk about the championship, AFC conference and the NFC championship games, and it would go under the rugs, and we would go quietly into the night. No, all that dude did was let us stew and get more information and more fodder to shoot so he could get his virtual ass kicked. And this is not against Schottenheimer. It's about the way Jerry Jones operates and does this, and how every year around free agency, or every year for the last 30 years, we expect something different out of this man. And that's our fault. Because the mother the mother of disappointment is expectations, guys. What did we expect? This is on brand. This is on Jerry being Jerry. All right, we have a lot of show. I could go on more and more. As far as Schottenheimer, Rue, if you want to see in the thread, because I think you were away. If you look, I posted his history. His history is on there, and he's been a career offensive coordinator. I didn't know this about him. He turned down the Buffalo Bills job, and he turned down the Miami Dolphins job. So there was a point in time where this guy was credible enough, or just like a junior on the NCAA tournament, having a great tournament, going into the NBA draft. If he doesn't leave then, his stock's the highest, and then he has a shit year, then his stock plummets. So he left. He didn't take these jobs while his stock was high. He's a career offensive coordinator, but that's what Jerry wants, because Jerry's the head coach and he has himself an offensive coordinator, and we know what he is. Like I said, he's Jim Henson getting another puppet. Another thing, this is purely what Corner said. It's to appease Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. It's to make Dak Prescott comfortable. Say what you want to say. We're married to Dak Prescott and changing the offense, even though he's a pro and he's the highest paid player in the league. This is a kid's game. He's playing for professional and getting millions of dollars. He can't change. So this is why the hire. Right now we're bitching about the process, but you know, I hope we're all wrong in our reaction, but this is our reaction, and god damn it, we get to have it. Slick ass motherfucker think he's gonna wrap it under the weekend rug. Now it us, motherfucker.
All right. Shout out to our old podcast mate. B2 Real is in the house. What's up, B2?
Shit.
B2 Real.
I agree with you, B2 Real. All right. Kuiper, the player personnel director here at the Cowboy Podcast. I know a lot of people but he's Arizona Cardinal fan. No, he's a football guy. He's a football man. He's a football man.
Football man first. Football first.
We look past we look past the dumb shit to the real shit. So Kuiper, on Friday when your phone binged, when your phone binged, I know you started laughing. I know you. So
The chuckles just came out. It was instant chuckling, instant laugh. I died, man, because I don't see how any other team can fuck a hiring up so much more than the Dallas Cowboys. Seriously, you had the Jacksonville Jaguars who literally had to fire a GM to get a coach.
Oh my God! Say that again.
The Jaguars had to fire a GM just to get a head coach.
Do you imagine in a dream we would have that?
It's supposed to be the fucking opposite, and they still got a better head coach. The Saints don't even have a head coach still, and they're doing better than the Dallas Cowboys are. Like, come on, man. At least hire Kellen Moore, because at least Kellen Moore went to the playoffs. At least he has a little bit more credibility than Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer, there was a reason why he's a career offensive coordinator, man. He's not a leader of men. And that's what coordinators are supposed to be. They're not supposed to be the leaders of men. They're supposed to be the behind the scenes. Let's scheme this up. I'm going to tell you guys where to go, but my head coach is going to be the leader in May. And Schottenheimer is just not that, dude. He's not that.
All right. So we got everybody's take except for mine. We next, it's Friday night, so me and the wife normally Netflix and chill on Friday night. Hey, we chilling, watching the movie, and my phone started binging. I was like, they hired somebody. I hadn't even looked at my phone yet. I said, they hired somebody. My phone don't just go off like this. Either somebody's dead or the Cowboys did something dumb. One of the two. And I was praying wasn't nobody dead. Okay. Looked at my phone. I said, it's all true. I said, everybody started saying it 24 to 48 hours before what they were going to do. And I was hoping, as a Cowboy fan, all this shit was fiction. I was like, it's fiction. It's not true. Why all of a sudden Schottenheimer is the man when he's my age? He's been an assistant coach since he was in his 20s. And I was just like, why now? I'm trying to figure this out. So I was just like, at first, dude, I never go live on TikTok. I never do.
I saw you.
I never go live. I never do. I was so distraught mentally, I had to talk to somebody. I damn near call all of y'all and say, let's do a show right now.
I didn't even do it
Friday. I was like, I'm not going to bother the guys. But I damn near call everybody and say, we need to do a show right now. I need to talk. When somebody say you just need to talk off at your problems, dude, I just needed to talk to somebody. So I went live on TikTok and I was just like, guys, I'm sorry. I just need to vent a minute. I just need to vent.
And the fucking Birdman.
And the reason why I wanted to vent is because remember I said our organization has become great value all of a sudden. Okay. And it irritates me so much. It irritates me so much from being one of the elite franchises to the great value, because we're gonna get into this press conference, and when Jerry Jones is talking about the cap, all this shit is excuse. Why?
How we rolled laughing his ass off.
You don't get your team better. Okay, so a lot of our anger is not at Schottenheimer. It really isn't, because we don't know what type of coach he's going to be. We really don't. Okay? No. We don't. We're upset at the front office doing the same dumb shit, because as soon as I saw who they hired, I instantly thought, Dave Campo. I instantly thought. I did. I was just like, you remember when he hired Dave Campo? Everybody was like, who? What? I mean, we knew Dave Campo because he was on the staff. We knew Dave Campo, but everybody knew Dave Campo wasn't the head coach. We knew that. I was just like, and it bothered me so bad. I was just like, okay. So, guys, let's get into the press conference, right? Now, I'm going to play this. As soon as somebody say stop, we're going to stop and we're going to talk about it. Because I know it's going to be a lot of times y'all going to say, hold up.
What the fuck does he mean? Okay.
I mean, seriously, as soon as you hear something that you don't like and you need to discuss, you say stop, okay?
Real quick. Can I ask the producer to put circus music in the background of this fucking press conference, please? First edit, thank you.
I don't have any circus music. Rue, what were you gonna say?
We could put clown noses on us while we watch this shit.
I really wanted. Here's the thing, man. I at the end of the day, I knew what we were gonna do, right? Like we knew it was just gonna be something that they were just gonna do internally or whatever. Like we knew it was gonna be something like that. I didn't expect Schottenheimer. I truly expected it to be Kellen Moore. Obviously, they've gone on and they wouldn't be able to talk to him for another couple weeks anyway. But when I'm looking at this, I'm trying to cling on to something. But when I look at the resume, this man's been in the league 29 years or 28 years. And every time he was an OC, the best he's ever done was in 2019 when he had the 8th ranked offense with the Seahawks. For the most part, this dude is in the 20s in offenses. 2006 Jets to 2011 Jets. It's Mark Sanchez era.
That's Mark Sanchez, though, bro.
But still, 25th, 26th, 16th, 20th, 11th, and 25th. Their offense was inept in those playoff games. That's why they didn't move on. You go to the Rams from 2012 to 2014, which for the life of me right now, I can't think of who the hell it is. I'm hoping you can tell me.
That was their shit year. Those were the shitters.
30th,
Those were the
23rd,
shitters.
30th, and
We know
28th.
McVay was the one that changed that whole thing around.
The only thing that I can even think that he had like a competent offense in wasn't the Seahawks from 2018 to 2020. Still had Russell in those years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
18th, 8th, and 17th. He's a middle of the pack OC. You even look at the Cowboys, 23, 5th, 24th, 16th. But we know it was Mike McCarthy. It wasn't him. The only thing I can really hang my hat on, and we're going to get into it in the press conference, I didn't hate him in the press conference. And I'm really hoping you have like a John Harbaugh situation where he has become, after all this time, a true leader of men. Because if you look at Harbaugh's resume, there's nothing there. He was a special teams coach.
He was a special team coach.
And now he's one of the best coaches in the entire league. So I'm holding out a little hope that they might be the smartest motherfuckers in the room right now. They might be. But it's hard to... I'm clinging on to anything I can, but let's get into the presser.
Well, no, before you go, and Chris said it right. Like we're bitching about the process, we're bitching about what we wanted and what we didn't get, but we can't judge the man until we see the man play. And you're right on Rue. He did, he did sell us a little bit of bill of goods. We'll see if it pans out. And another thing, one big thing. Before we get into the press conference itself, he had a lot of support by our players. Guys,
they were all there.
Dak Prescott guys.
Everybody was
Brock
there.
Hoffman was there, which is our dog, friend to the show. And he had support. You never saw support for that for anybody else's hire. So I don't remember McCarthy. I know this is appeasing a Dak and another Jerry puppet. Who knows what it is? So,
all right, are y'all ready now?
Let's do it. Love you, big fella. Love you.
I did a little homework. I had to bring that shit up.
I was like, okay. I was like, that was a lot of this is in the press. That's why I said when I play it, say stop.
Sorry.
I just didn't hear that part,
You're right,
bro.
Hey, I know, man. Y'all miss me. I understand. I missed y'all ass
True
too.
Story.
All right, here we go, man. Here we go.
Hey guys, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Two questions. The first I'll lead to Shadi, kind of circling back to what Jerry and Steven both said as far as freshening things up, looking for a change. From a head coach perspective, that's going to key in on the offense. Generally speaking, how do you look to move forward as far as modernizing the offense? You talk about solving for the quarterback. What does that look like under a Schottenheimer era?
Yeah, again, I go back to my days with Pete. I think if you go back and you look at some of the things we did in Seattle, obviously the starting point for me would be things that our players do well. You're always going to start with that. If your system's not flexible enough to do what your players do well, then you're probably in the wrong business. But I'm a big believer in cut splits. I'm a big believer in shifts and motions to distort things. We're going to do a great job of marrying our runs and our passes and make those look the same. I'm proud to say that 2 different times in my career as a coordinator, we led the league in rushing. And they go hand in hand.
Yeah, stop right there.
Hey, I knew you were going to say something.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Go ahead, Kyber.
Bro, he had beast mode in Seattle. That's the only reason why they ever ran the ball. And even with every time beast mode came out, the runs were dog shit. He didn't have anything there. And he's talking about changing the offense to motions and all this. The Cowboys haven't done that ever. Like all the, I don't remember when the Cowboys did that. Do you guys remember when the Cowboys ever do that?
But I love that because we've been begging for that. We've been begging for Turpin to move around. We've been begging to move around CD Lamb. We've been begging for it because we don't have any support. You have to move these guys. You can't just keep them stationary. It's so easy to guard them because there's nothing else around. That was like one of my favorite parts of the press conference. And beast mode or no beast mode, guess what? We're probably taking a running back with him in the first round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that past them one bit.
And
You go get you a beast mode.
And to add, Rue, we were last in the league at motion. We need motion to see the tell of what the defense is doing. If you're going to see a zone, if you're going to see man-to-man, you know what it is. We watch football together. We see it a mile away. We see cover 4. We see cover 3. We see cover 2. Yeah, sometimes there's a robber. Sometimes they trick you into and disguise it. But at least you can differentiate from what man and what zone is. And that's what that does. Instead of them standing straight and reading our mail all the damn time.
Well, when I heard him say that he pimped his hand in the draft. We drafted a running back. Yeah, I mean, literally, that's what he said. Yeah. So
that's Gentry all the way.
Let's continue.
The action passing game go hand in hand, but I would say there's a tempo element that we're excited to mix in that our players have all shown an affinity for, and let me expand on that a little bit. Why do players like tempo? Well, they like tempo because it allows them to play free. You guys have heard some of the play calls. Dak could rattle off 4 or 5 of them right now. They're pretty long. So when you go
all right, I want to stop real quick. Is he basically saying Mike McCarthy wouldn't run tempo? Is he taking a shot at Mike McCarthy?
There was a lot of that.
I mean, think about it. Because he said the players wanted to run tempo. The players want to do it. So only one person that could stop tempo. Go ahead, Mike.
And the players ain't them. It's called Dak Prescott running to run tempo. That's who he's talking about. The players, no, it's Dak. Maybe Dak and CD, but it's Dak. But this is just the one round of strays that Mike McCarthy got all over this damn press conference. We're gonna see it little by little.
Go ahead.
This is a straight shot at our red zone. This is a straight shot at what happens to us as soon as we cross the 50 and we get into the red zone. This was a shot at that because that's when the tempo changed. That's when everything stalled out. That's when everything looked like it slowed down and we got real rigid.
Yep.
That's what this is. And I'll take that all day long. And the thing is, man, like I'm really not trying to get lost in the sauce with him. But I really liked him in this presser. He sold me on him in this presser. I liked him a lot in this presser. And I think absolutely that was a shot at Mike McCarthy's stale ass fucking offense.
Kuiper, you got anything before we move on?
I just hope he's not just saying this, man. I hope he's not just trying to get Cowboys fans on board. I really hope that because that for the Cowboys' sake, if he changes the entire offense to motions and to all of this, then there's a chance. But if he's just saying it to say it, there's no chance. He's going to be a bust of a head coach.
All right, let's keep going.
And you're playing on the ball, these guys, it's a little bit more like pickup basketball, you know, and those would probably be the biggest things that I would say from an offensive standpoint.
From a personnel and roster building standpoint, salary cap management as well for Jerry and Steven. You guys talk about learning some hard lessons, especially from 2024, depth issues once you guys were ravaged by injury. Just as far as salary cap management goes, free agency and the like, looking in the mirror is one way that you can learn things. another way is to look at what your opponents and enemies are doing and try to kind of take from their strategies. When you look at a team like the Eagles, for example, do you feel there's anything that you guys can kind of take from their strategies, seeing as they handle free agency a certain way and they're back in the Super Bowl this year, that kind of could work for the Cowboys going forward?
Yeah, I think you certainly look at that. I think you look at your competitors in your conference, what it's going to take to have success, whether that's a 49er team or whether that's an Eagle team. Obviously, the 49ers, had the injury bug situation, and in this salary cap era, if that injury bug hits you hard enough, it's it can be difficult to overcome. And,
all right, go ahead.
And now comes the explanation on why they're settling. This is their building. This is the first mention of the damn salary cap, and why and why we're not more aggressive. Why we don't sign people on time. This is them foreshadowing that this is very deliberate, very meticulous on how they do this. This is Schottenheimer was, I guess, the most believable without an agenda, but the most calculated ones are Steve and Jerry. And Jerry was right. The apple doesn't fall far from the fucking tree.
Rue or Kuiper, any rebuttal?
You already knew that Steven was going to jump in there because he's the one making the fucking decisions and pulling the goddamn strings. All the random activities that you see, that might be Jerry Jones, but for the most part, it's fucking Steven. All these acquisitions, all this shit, and all this really shows me is the man's got no balls. You got no balls. You're talking about injuries. You're talking about injuries when it comes to free agency. That's part of the game. That could happen to literally anyone. You just signed CD Lamb. That could happen to him. It could happen to Dak Prescott. Matter of fact, it did happen to Dak Prescott this season. So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear about injuries, bro. If you lose players to injuries, I can live with that. At least you swung the fucking bat.
Yeah. And another thing. See, we are not in a safe place with Steve Jones being the future Jerry Jones of this. Like, I'm 100% with Rue. All of this hire was a Steven Jones hire. This wasn't a Jerry hire. Jerry's going along. He's just
I disagree. I think the players picked this kid. Or not this kid. I think the players picked him. I really do. I think this has a lot more to do with the players and them having the guts to pull the trigger on a guy that they don't normally take. I mean, yeah, maybe internal, but normally it's somebody with a history of head coaching.
Yeah.
Normally. The only anomaly there may be Garrett, but outside of that, everybody was.
Well, and going back to what I was saying, how I'm scared of Stephen Jones being this. Remember, this is a big thing. The big fellow, he says, I want to go back to the time where we got Deion Sanders and Charles Haley and all this. You know who didn't want Deion Sanders and Jerry Jones almost whooped his ass? They got in a physical altercation over it.
Stephen Jones.
Was Stephen fucking Jones.
Dude had that dude's got a tight ass wallet, man.
Okay.
Tight ass and no balls.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know that. That's crazy.
Jerry he grabbed his dad, like he pinned him against the wall because it was the first year of the salary cap, and Steven was managing the salary cap, and Jerry went off the reservation and got Deion, and fucking Steven lost his shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands it. I truthfully, I don't think he understands it. Everybody else makes moves. Everybody makes moves except for us. It really doesn't exist. He don't know. He don't know how to do it.
Jeffrey Lurie is a genius.
Well, don't worry. We gonna get into that. Yeah, let's keep going. All right.
But at the same time, that's the goal, is to really do a good job with your draft, college free agency. That should be where your strong depth is. Obviously, this year we were counting on playing those guys right away, and they had to jump right in. And as the injuries came, more and more had to jump in. And but I think the bigger thing here is just where can we, which has been our goal in the past. Where can we, in free agency, take care of some core needs so that when the draft comes, you are able to take the best player on the board, not unlike we did with CD. We weren't necessarily in that draft looking for a receiver, but CD Lamb's sitting there, and it's obvious what you do there. And I think if you do some things in free agency, like we've done in the past, to really take care of your roster before the draft comes around.
When
When the fuck did you do something in the past? I'm sorry. Who?
Don Terry
Who?
Poe.
I'm really thinking right now.
Don Terry Poe.
Oh my god.
Who?
A lot of the press conference, real Cowboy fans and real football fans was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Everything is provable. Everything is provable that you can go and say, "You're lying. You're lying. You're lying."
What free agent moves has this man made? I want to know. I want to know these incredible free agent moves that he didn't get out of the bargain bin at the basement.
Well, the thing is, and you see it with the roster now. We have all our guys on 1-year deals, and we resign our own guys because they're technically free agents, and those are the moves he's referring to. So when we get Jordan Lewis back, that's the spectacular free agent. No, we can't lose Jordan, but we're gonna lose also Diggy Zoo. We're gonna lose these guys.
You can't even say that those are free agents.
That's the only free agent moves we do, because we always give these motherfuckers 3-year, 2-year, 1-year contract.
I don't even think you can classify them as free agent, because free agency doesn't start until you lose them, and they go actually into free agency.
Yeah.
It's
We
just
did.
so on
Lawrence
brand.
Armstrong,
It's so on
Dante
brand.
Fowler, Tyler Biotis. We did lose those motherfuckers.
Exactly.
He's so stuck on just drafting players because he doesn't have to pay them. That's his whole thing. His entire strategy. It's like Moneyball in the NFL.
Yeah.
That shit don't work. This ain't baseball, baby.
Yeah, you know what? We are turning into the fucking Oakland A's.
Oh,
We
Jesus.
are.
All right.
We are turning into the Oakland A's.
Oh my God.
That is probably the best analogy for this entire franchise. We're the Oakland A's. We're the bargain basement brand with all the fucking money. That's the only difference between us. The Oakland A's got no money. We got all the
Great
money in the
point.
world. And these
That
That
guys
sounds like the
baseball.
old school Cardinals, honestly.
Hey, at 37 minutes of the show, this will be clipped. All right. Hold
Help
on.
me understand.
Let's
Hey,
keep
do
going.
you have the
Yeah.
part?
Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
Do you have the part where they asked Jerry why he picked Marty or Schottenheimer,
I'm sure we're getting there.
and he goes every side street except the main street?
Mikey, we don't know until we play the fucking video. We don't know.
Give it a minute, Mikey.
Hey, I missed his ass. I missed his ass so much. He just don't know how much I missed him.
I'm about to say, he got me stepping on the gas
I
pedal
just want
too.
to
Right?
hear
We got to
see
reel
your
it in,
faces
baby.
in this craziness.
Yeah, hold on. Let's keep going.
Much better chance, but certainly you look at the blueprints, everybody does it different. Kansas City's doing a great job bringing young guys along and those type of things, and like a team like Philadelphia,
He's
you
a
certainly
villain.
look
I
at the
know
way
what a
they're
villain
doing
looks
it, where
like
they
in
went
the
out
movie.
and did some things with some veteran players. You have to take a look at that, and then you got to find exactly
Put
what
a white
fits
cat in his
your
fucking
core,
lap, we'd be there.
your DNA with our players, and what we have, and what gives us the best chance to compete against. Certainly, you start with your division, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Giants, and then you stretch that out, and what does it take to beat the 49ers, to beat the Rams? Certainly, those are all things that come in the mix.
I'll answer this. It's money management. Cap is financial.
Hey, we should have
About the
played a drinking
Cowboys,
game. Every time you said
several
cat, we
of
take a
your
fucking shot.
counterparts rode over with me on this little jet airplane, rode over to my home in Little Rock, Arkansas. And we got off the plane and rolled up there to pick us up was a 5-year-old dirty Ford Bronco.
Hold on, stop it right there.
All right.
The price of tea in fucking China? You're telling me the price of tea in China. You're telling me about your private aircraft, and then you're telling me about your poor Ford fucking Bronco to explain to me about the salary cap. So the private jet is Micah Parsons and the Broncos Brandon Aubrey. That's what you're trying to tell me as a fan. And then you want me to feel sorry for you the way you fucking projected in your voice. You $11 billion franchise. We ran this little Ford Bronco, and then let him finish. Let him finish, because the explanation of this shit is priceless. This crazy motherfucking man.
And they got off and said, this doesn't make a lick of sense. You just bought the Cowboys and you're flying a jet and you drive up here in a 5-year-old dirty Bronco. And I said, it makes perfect sense. You can't have it all. You got to sacrifice someplace to get the other. If you try to have it
Peter
all,
to pay Paul.
you can pay the fiddler when you've used up your credit. That's salary cap. That's a salary cap.
Take a
Not
shot.
one that we won't hear, oh, what about that team? They've got the same salary cap issue you do, and
Take
they've
a
got
shot.
that done. Well, it's because all teams are different, and they've made those decisions as they've moved along. We want to improve significantly how we are doing the cap. The cap takes a big hit when you're invested in players that have injuries,
So that's 3 more
significant
shots.
injuries. So the cap can take a big hit at that
Another
time,
shot.
cap management. But it's still there. It's still there. It's as real as if it was never there, the availability of it.
Can I say something?
And so if somebody thinks,
As the kids would say, he's capping.
I hate this man so much. If he say cap one more fucking time, dog. We have so much cap space next year. If anybody is out there, if any of you listening to this, we are not in cap hell. We are not the New Orleans Saints. We have actually an abundance of cap space next year.
A lot
If
of
we
money.
do nothing, we have an abundance of cap space next year. If they make very small moves, we'd have double than what we have already. We could get up to about $95 million in available cap space with a 1 or 2 moves for this organization. This is
even
complete and
trading.
total bullshit. I don't want to
Or
hear
you know,
about the fucking
who's,
cap.
who's like pure example. As much as Papas hates the Rams said, "Fuck them picks." Went all in, literally all in. Won a Super Bowl, lived in shit hell for 1 year, but they've been to NFC Championship and in the playoffs consistently after this shit.
Yeah.
You're full of shit, Jerry.
This
Cap.
whole
You
thing is a
capping,
scam.
Jerry.
This is a con man telling me, like, selling me a bill of goods, really. Like, there is no cap issue with this team at all.
Bro, y'all know what he's doing, right? In
He's
February,
he's building in
February
his excuse.
when the free agency hit, he's already setting y'all up, telling you he ain't got no money for
He ain't
big
gonna do
free
it.
agents. That's what he's saying. He's saying we all know the Cowboys is well up under the cap. We knew it. We know that. Remember the excuse he gave us for not signing Derrick Henry and Patrick Queen and all these big name free agents at the time? We ain't got the money. And it come out, the Cowboys had more money under the salary cap than most any teams in it. So
Yeah.
let's keep going. Let's keep, man. I'm loving this. I love y'all action.
daunting. I try to answer you when we're talking. And so you hear me talk about, well, we have to manage the cap. Why not this free agent? Why don't you go do this? Not necessarily why didn't you go do that with that, or the timeliness of how you did it, but why didn't you go do that? That's all management, okay? I want our fans to know that I can manage really good. I do really well managing.
I managed real good. I managed real good.
Oh my God.
I was waiting. I was
Oh
waiting.
my God.
I was waiting. I was waiting to that part.
29 years, Jerry.
Oh, let him go.
Jerry
Let him go.
29 years, Jerry.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Literally out of his mouth said he manages really well.
Oh, that's the proper way to say it. He didn't say it well. Say it the way he said it.
He may manage his oil company really well because he's a billionaire. Okay. He may manage the promotions department really, really well. But the football area, as the GM, managing is not his strong suit. Matter of fact, that's the worst fucking part about Jerry Jones. That's why every Cowboy fan is dying for a real general manager to get in here so we could change the culture. And the culture starts in the fucking front office.
Yep.
It's not the coach. It started in the fucking front office. And when this fucker says he manages really well, well, we got 30 years to prove you don't.
You got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
30 fucking years. All right, he's been the owner for 35, right? So for 30 fucking years. And he'll saying this, before the salary cap, we did this. So you're really not a good GM, are you? Because you can't manage under a salary cap like the other fucking teams that won the Super Bowl under the salary cap. So when you fucking sit there and say you're a good manager, you're fucking lying.
First fucking 30.
Oh man.
This man has sabotaged this team since he hired Barry Switzer.
5 Super Bowls, what is it? 23 conference championship appearances. 30 years after that. That's all you, Jerry.
The fact of the matter is, this man has sabotaged this team since the day he hired Barry Switzer. Since the day he fired Jimmy Johnson,
I don't kill Barry. Barry did a good job.
Barry Switzer was a fucking bum riding off the coattails of Jimmy motherfucking Johnson. Fuck that Sooner.
Nah, dude, you'll see a lot of players that would fucking die for Jerry. Barry Switzer was in a no-win situation. You got to. We're lucky we won a championship.
Barry cost me a 3-peat. I don't care what nobody say about nothing. Barry cost me a 3-peat. This record should have been broken back in the 90s. We should have been the first 4-peat.
We should have six Super Bowls. This is Kobe and Shaq.
The fact of the matter is, this man has sabotaged this team since then. You can forgive Barry all you want. It doesn't change the fact that Jerry sabotaged this team for the last 32 seasons. For the last 32 years, this man has sabotaged this team for money. And it's a damn shame. And the fact of the matter is, man, Cowboys fans are pissed. Cowboys fans are leaving. They are not as patient as you may think they are. We have been patient, but damn it, man, we can't ignore what we're looking at. I can't ignore the things that you're doing. And then you sit here and lie to my face, talking about how you manage this so well and you understand this. And it seems like you don't know shit about the cap.
He didn't say well. He said good. He grammatically
good. His
fucking
good
sounded
ass
like the
doesn't
tar.
know how to manage the fucking cap, and he's got no balls to pull the freaking trigger, and his son is just as bad, if not worse, than him.
Kuiper, any rebuttal before I finish this video?
I'm just enjoying this, man. This is hilarious to watch. This
I hate
man,
these guys right now.
Dude, watching Jerry in this entire news conference just reminds me of when Donald Trump said trees are loaded with water. They suck the water out of the ground, and it's called management of the floor. Like, what the fuck?
That's
what
my
are
boy.
you talking about?
That's my boy.
I know that that bank account's full. That doesn't mean you got money.
We know that too.
It just means you
Oh
haven't
my
paid your
God.
bill 60 days from now. So you got to look around the corner. You got to be good at it, and you got to live
called
with
a
the time
payment
that you're
arrangement.
looking around the corner. Okay? And so that's what you see here. No apologies. Everybody has to do it. We obviously hadn't done it well enough. I think our first Super Bowls that I was involved in were before the cap. And so we have to do a better job in that area. Can we? You bet you can. You bet you can.
Jesus Christ.
Now, all in, we just spent some of it for Dak. We spent some of it for Lamb. We spent some of it for several of our players. It was an allocation, an anticipation of what we weren't going to spend or not spend in the future. All of that
Somebody take that
all
man's
of that
dictionary
said,
toilet paper away.
we, Stephen, me, spend a lot of time in this area. And I'm not talking about just sitting there in the office on a chalkboard. I'm talking about 3 o'clock in the morning when you can't sleep and you're sitting there doodling that cap.
Brad Sham, 105.3 The Fan. Brian.
All right, that was the end of it. So, guys, I know. Like I said, this press conference was more about the front office to me than it was Brian Schottenheimer. It really was, man. I know Brian had a lot of things to say. And I'm like, Rue, I ended up liking a lot of things he had to say. But, you know, when you do a press conference, you can win over just about anybody. To me, actions, show me the actions on the field. That's all I give a fuck about. Okay? Because right now, that's our head coach. Ain't nothing we can do about it. That's our head coach. Okay? So we got to rock. And hopefully what he says, he does. He did pimp his hand about the draft. They already tell you drafting a running back. But we said the shit all last year. We need a fucking running back. We need a running back. We need a running back. And you try to do the reach
big running back
bullshit. And then when we finally say Rico is the man, then you decided, what, week 11 in the fucking season, you started giving him the ball? Week 11?
And he got to 1,000 yards.
Dude, so.
Look at that.
I think I got one more, but I think this one I wanted to play. This is my last video with Jerry Jones, okay? And this video was about the fans, okay? About us.
Oh my God.
You already I'm gonna play this one all the way through. It's 2 minutes and 41 seconds, okay? But he's talking about the fan. Here we go.
Very well. When you talk to fans are super impatient. They see 2 NFC East teams playing yesterday. Obviously, the drought that we've spoken to. I know you've spoken to fan sentiment, but why should fans buy into Brian Schottenheimer?
Well, you have touched on one point. Our fans have been very patient. Very patient. And through you to them, I want to tell them how appreciative that I am of the support and of their interest in the Dallas Cowboys. Now, there's a whole bunch of those fans that look and are interested because they want to see me grovel, whatever it is. But I'm not putting that up there much. But to those fans who have been with us, this decision to bring Shotty in is risky. It's not a Hail Mary at all in any way. But it's founded over some very unique, as I started off, unique sets of circumstances. I know how much our fans are into the Dallas Cowboys. And for me to be into it is no solace at all. We're interested, they're interested, I'm interested in getting to those playoffs and winning. This is the best way that we can go to the playoffs and win.
My next one's for Brian, if I could, really quick. You've worked with Dak Prescott for 3 years now. Obviously, he had a lot of support for you. What do you feel like you two can work on together to unlock even more of his game?
Well, before I respond to that, I'd like to go back with one thing, Nick. All
right. Okay. Jerry say he care about y'all. He care about you, and he's well invested also, and he just wants y'all to know that he has late nights thinking of how he can better the fucking team. Okay, and I want you to know, Rue, he is sorry for the last 30 years. Do you believe me?
Bro, the last time this team won a damn Super Bowl, I was 8 years old. It was 2 days after my fucking birthday. And what's hilarious, I just I I can't stand this dude, man. Like you just lying to my face. You just lying to me like constantly. It's like a bad relationship. It's like this is the most toxic thing in my life
I'm gonna
right
get
now
with that.
because I'm serious.
Let me go off of that.
Bro, this team kills me right now. This team is absolutely destroying my mind and my processing like ability to just everything, because it's like, how do I just keep putting up with your bullshit year after year? It's driving me crazy.
Check it. And I thought about this. Are they doing this shit on purpose? Like, listen. I don't know. I don't know about your single days, right? And I've done this before, where I didn't have the balls enough to break up with the chick, but I would show my ass to this chick. Like I would not treat her like garbage, but show her all my bad habits, be very inconsiderate, push her to a point where she broke up with me, let her think she broke up with me, but in actuality, I was the one that pushed her the fuck away. And this is what I feel about this football team. They're pushing me to break up with this goddamn team, bro.
Dude, and Kuiper, before you go, I love the sarcasm that you have for us right now. I love it. But let me go real quick, and I'll let you go. Okay. As the Can fans say, I'm the oldest tenured Cowboy fan right now. So me being the witness of all the Super Bowls, okay, I when I refer to my favorite professional football team, the Dallas Cowboys, as great value, it actually hurts my feelings. Okay. And the reason it hurt my feelings is because when Jerry bought the team, he was the gunslinger owner. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win
The
Super
plunger.
Bowls. And now it's like the cheapest way I can win Super Bowls. But cheap don't work in the NFL. It don't work in the NFL. And then you come and then you try to pacify the fans by saying how much you care about us. And that is an absolute fucking lie. Because if you cared, only thing you care about is everybody buying the merch, okay? About us buying fucking tickets to come to AT&T, okay? The fucking parking, the $10 beers, all that. That's what you care about, Jerry.
And fucking dollar beer.
Because we are delusional, because we do go in there and we buy them fucking tickets. We travel across the country to watch our team. We do the shit. But dude, don't sit there and fucking lie to us, man. That's why Cowboy fans are so upset about this last 2 weeks, because you continuously lie to Cowboy fans.
To our face.
You gonna fucking sit there in a press conference and try to get the sob story bullshit. Oh, I care about you. You know, I'm sitting up wondering how great you guys are. Blah 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 blah. My Ford Bronco. I make sure you know why he driving that Ford Bronco in the month, because it's a muddy part of Arizona, Arkansas, that you motherfucker don't want to ruin your good car. That's why you got the dirty ass.
And that Ford Bronco is probably badass.
It probably is. Probably worth $100,000. Anyway, it's just I'm just spewing my frustration of the 30 years, because I lived all 30 of this bitch. I'm 55 years old, so I'm living this shit. Okay, so when the Cowboys was really good, I was in my prime. I'm a stud, you know, shit. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a man. You couldn't tell me shit when the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Okay, and I want to brag some more. I want to talk shit some more. I want my grandkids and my kids to see the goddamn Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Ain't nothing. You got to experience the fucking parade in downtown Dallas and shit. You need to experience that bullshit. But with Jerry Jones, our general manager / owner, continuously insulting our intelligence.
What?
It pisses us the fuck off.
I remember A year ago, I said that. Around this fucking episode, exactly a year after a 2-week hiatus.
All right, Kuiper, go ahead.
When he said,
great value word.
I know you when he said, I know the fans are interested, all I could think was, I know you motherfuckers are gonna buy my shit anyways, so whatever I do really doesn't matter. That's all I heard. That's all I heard.
Yep.
So he's just hilarious. I thought my owner was bad, okay? I really did. But when I came on this podcast, dude, all I can see more and more is
now do you see why when you said that shit on one of the first episodes you came on this show, you got jumped on?
Yeah.
This is why. This is what we've been dealing with forever. This is what we've had
forever.
And this
I'd rather be a Cardinals fan, man. I'd rather stay with the great game.
The delusion with
Rue, I got a question for you, Rue. Even if God forbid the man, I don't want nobody to die. Jerry Jones gone, passing on. It ain't gonna get no better with Steven.
It's
gonna be worse.
It'll be worse. It'll be worse. Because at least Jerry will
start a GoFundMe for a hitman.
Honestly, though, at least Jerry from time to time will at least pull the trigger on something. It might not be worth the shit, but he will pull the trigger on something. It's just, we get picks like Trey Lance and shit like that. Like this whole thing, they out here trying to wheel and deal like this is like they're in the oil field and they trying to make a deal with somebody. The only way these guys make trades, the only way they do anything is through a trade. And a lot of times these trades, it's like, bro, what are y'all doing? Yeah. Like they talk about management. Let's talk about the fact that you gave up Amari Cooper for a fifth, and the Browns got a third out of him 3 years later. Like, really?
Homeboy didn't depreciate.
That's the management. Is that the management? Is this prized management that I should be like rawing for? Like this literally happened. Literally, they gave up Amari Cooper for a fifth.
You're literally pissing me off.
The Browns got him, gave him up for a third. It was a third, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure they got a third round pick out of his ass. Maybe even a second. Maybe even a second. I can't remember.
Put the clip on where they ask him why did he pick Schottenheimer, and he talks about he wanted to be a coach, and the only reason he didn't want to be a coach is because they didn't pay enough. But now if he knew what they paid Schottenheimer, he would have been a coach, and that's such a tell because that's exactly what he wants to fucking be. And he goes everywhere. And does this whole 30-minute soliloquy. It doesn't answer the fucking question.
The biggest thing to me right now is the fact that this man is already basically telling you we are not doing shit in free agency. We are not going to do a fucking thing.
It'll be status quo.
But you have status quo. There's so much room. There's so much. What are we doing? Are we just gonna sign like every scrub that's on the market and hope that we can salvage something for depth?
Great bet.
I'm gonna use Steven's quotes. Are we just looking for depth in free agency? Like what are we doing? Every single team that was competitive this year did something. Every single one. The Eagles are living in free agency. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. This, and not only that, what kills me more than anything, you are on the weakest, by far, side of the conference. This conference literally just saw Jalen Daniels take the Commanders to the NFC Championship game. The Lions made it last year. This team, you have the senior at quarterback. You have epic amount of cap space. It doesn't make sense that we're literally in purgatory right now. It makes no sense. This side of the conference is so weak. It's unreal. It shouldn't be like this.
Go ahead, Mike.
I just think about, is this is deja vu?
It really is. It is.
We're
I
saying
think Jerry
we're
has.
saying the same words. We're saying great value. We're saying purgatory. I feel like we had this episode already.
This team will do that to you. This team will literally do this to you. We are literally through the cycle right now. It's like that meme that you see on fucking Instagram or whatever the shit. We are literally at the point where it's like, all right, we got the new coach. We're waiting for the draft, baby, because we know we ain't gonna do shit in June.
This is
Draft,
insanity.
baby.
It's insanity.
April.
And you
April, here we come.
and papas. So last year, I was arguing with these guys because I like taking my stances, and I was arguing because big fella wanted Patrick Queen, he wanted Henry, and I was arguing for Jerry. I was real proponent of the front office, considering we had to pay everybody. So I stand pat, and I said it, and it's become something. I said, well, we got to get the great value brand of dudes. And big fella went on a fucking tangent. And the sad thing is, he's not even pissed off anymore. He's not even arguing with
just
no
accepted
more.
it
He
at this
is
point.
so resolute in sleeping in his own shit, wearing a star in his helmet, that he's defeated. Look at the man. Those are tears behind those blue glasses.
Oh man.
And those are tears of a clown because we're a bunch of clowns wearing stars.
Oh, dude.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll go ahead and second up. My wife.
And you know what? T should be pissed off because they ruined her Friday fucking night. The blue chew wore off and everything.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't even know if he heard you.
Oh my god.
Terrible. That is terrible.
That's so wild.
That's fucking ridiculous.
What the hell, man?
He has no idea what the fuck you just said. That is terrible. Oh my god, bro.
Oh,
No, bro. I mean,
don't tell him.
honestly,
No, don't tell him what I said until he has to watch
don't
it.
tell him. Don't tell him.
Well, I don't want to stitch something that you said that was derogatory and it's going to hurt my feelings.
Did you hear what I said?
I
said,
heard you, but I didn't hear you.
I said, if anybody should be pissed about Friday night and the announcement, it should be T. Like you said, you guys were on a date or whatever. They dropped it on, and you got so pissed. You got on TikTok, and that blue chew wore the fuck out. He was pissed.
Fucker. Hey, he references Blue Chew a lot. I think that's part of his repertoire every night. Let me take a look.
I take high blood pressure pills. I can't take that shit. My doctor said I'm gonna die.
All right, well, let's. New head coach has hired a few coordinators or a few members to their staff, to his staff, and I actually wanted to get into it with y'all guys. We got a new defensive coordinator here, man. We got Matt Eberflus, former head coach of the Chicago Bears. So
time management.
Hey, at least we don't have to worry about that with him. At least just worry about the defense. You just worry about that damn defense.
Well, he did a good job with the Colts. He did a
Did
good
he
job.
though?
And I was just about
Did
to
he
say,
though?
he's not. He's a coordinator. That dude is obviously not a head coach, but defensive coordinator, he might be able to make a little noise. And it's not like he don't have like he's got an abundance of talent on that defense. If you can't make that work, you don't belong in football.
Does he though, Rue? Does he?
Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland.
Trayvon
I mean,
Diggs, we're
come
not
on.
going to see him for the whole year. They're saying that he should have got that surgery. We're not going to see him for a whole year. The Marion Overshown, we're not going to see him for a whole year. We don't have Jordan Lewis signed. We don't have Tank Lawrence signed. We don't have Osa Diggy signed. We don't have Golston signed. We're going to lose these guys. Dude, you know they played with 10 cornerbacks last year? 10.
Jesus.
Like now it's coming to a head where we might be picking old Longhorn next year.
I told you guys. What did I tell you all season long? The one thing that was happening, the Cowboys were transitioning into a
you didn't tell
rebuild.
us shit.
You look at that defense for him. He has Micah and maybe he has Bland, but the safeties are dog shit. You have one second-year linebacker. Your DTs are dog shit. The depth of the DNs is just
as well.
Yeah, like
I don't know what happened to our
defense
safety room. I really don't understand what happened to the safety room. The safety room used to be the best room in the building with the most depth. I don't understand what happened to with the
Malik
safety
Hooker
room.
has his moments, but he has his lapses.
But he's getting older, man.
And
Like,
Donovan
Malik's getting
Wilson
older.
is a box safety. He's not a cover safety because he'll bring the boom, but them together is it's a recipe for a blown coverage.
But even some of the younger guys like Makuba, I liked him. I'm trying to think. There's another one that I'm trying to think of his name.
Kwamu, you're saying?
Makwamu. It was Makwamu, and then there was
Ned Butler,
Wait,
a guy that we got, fucking good story. He tears his knee up. Like, fuck.
I don't know. The safety room is a freaking mystery to me. I feel like the safety room was much stronger even before the year started, and now it's just like, what even happened to these guys? But maybe it's because we've lost all of our corners as well. Like it might not just be on them. You lose two cover corners like that.
So y'all consensus on I'm sorry, give me a second. I'm sorry, I messed up. Y'all consensus on Eagle Field, Matt
Eberflus.
Do y'all like him? You don't like him? What's the deal? I'm like this. He got fired from the Bears on Thanksgiving for the dumbest shit I ever seen in my life. He deserved it. He deserved to get fired. When I saw the game, I said that fucker's about to get fired. Okay, but as a defensive coordinator, but you got to think about it, man. A lot of these, just like Wade Phillips. I love Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips is a better coordinator than a head coach. So hopefully, let's get this with Matt. Okay, we see he also hired a special teams coordinator. We're gonna miss Bones. I don't know anything about Nick. Do anybody know anything about Nick Sorsen?
All I know is he got into it with who's the Texans quarterback? It's flipping my mind.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, him and CJ Stroud got in an argument before the draft, and CJ Stroud almost refused to go to the Texans because of this guy. But you should know him better because last year he was with the Niners. Do you know anything about him, Papas?
Last year their fucking special teams sucked. The special teams I think almost had like two or three blocks on the kick return. I mean on field goals, but Jake Moody was their only solace on the special teams. The Niners special teams hasn't been anything special. So I mean, if he's gonna come from the Niners, I'll tell you what, he did nothing special with the Niners.
Okay,
and thank you on the billion. I'll tell you what,
they hired another coach today too. I forget what was his name, Mikey. Do you remember?
But there's another one Papa should know. It's his old offensive line coach, and he's gonna be like,
no,
yes.
You guys got our O-line coach?
Yeah, we got your.
Is that official, or was that just an interview? Don't fuck with
him. They're getting him. What's his name? Let me look it up.
If you guys get our offensive line coach as your offensive coordinator, you guys are definitely drafting a running back in the first round. It's clear as day.
That doesn't make me feel good, honestly.
No, dude,
it should honestly, because he was our best coach this year, and we had a defense coordinator who took practice squad talent into a top 10 defense. Statistically, we were one of the better defenses, just with shit players. Our offensive line coach took a second-year left tackle, a fucking free agent that nobody wanted, and a bunch of scraps that were rotating around into a top 7 offensive line. graded out by PFF too. So he knows his shit. You guys are gonna love him as an OC. I just don't want him gone. I don't want him gone for shit.
Well, if we could take anything from the Cardinals and make work, I sure would love it. Okay, but we don't have a great history with that.
This whole thing about taking a running back in the first round, I'm so against it. There's so many running backs coming out of this draft, and honestly, I would rather address the D line or the O line if I'm going to do anything. I'm not touching running back at 13.
Let me rebut here, though, Rue. Let me rebut, okay? Your boy from Texas went to Atlanta, changed the culture. The kid from Georgia went to Detroit, changed.
Hold on, Clayton Adams, is that who it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right.
Your boy from Georgia went to the Lions, changed the culture. Everybody's like, he ain't a first round draft pick. When Zeke came here, his first 3 years, he changed the culture because he was a great running back. They ran him in the ground, but it is what it is. When you fall back into that NFL narrative about not having a great running back, Saquon Barkley was a first round fucking running back.
He's the highest, I think, in the last 10 years.
So my whole thing is, if you got an elite player, I don't give a fuck if he's first, second, third. If he's sitting there and he is the best player on the board, that's a fucking running back, you better take him.
What was the first play of the NFC? What was the first play on offense for the Eagles in the NFC Championship game? We were sitting there together. We saw that. We knew the game was done.
Okay,
the game was done. Hold on, Rudy.
The two players you said.
What? And the thing is, the formula is, what is Dak Prescott record when he gets a 100-yard rusher?
Shit, probably
he only has like 3 losses.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The two players that you said were who? Is Jahmyr Gibbs and who was the other one?
Bijan.
It's Bijan.
Bijan.
Happy birthday, boo boo.
Oh. Tell me real quick. How many playoff games Bijan played in?
He didn't play in any.
That's
right.
Third Cousins' fault.
It was a game away. They were a game away. Because they switched
the
quarterback late.
They
switched the quarterback late. That's why.
Well, I get it, Rube. I get it, Rube, but Henderson is going to be there in the second round.
Aside from that, the Lions. What did the Lions have when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs like 30th overall? If you can even count that as a first round pick.
It was 13.
It was 13, bro.
They traded back the Cardinals for him.
Yeah, because everybody was like, damn, they drafted him way.
Oh, no, that's right. They did trade up for him.
They got the linebacker.
What's the difference in the situation? The Lions have the best O-line in the league. We have problems on the O-line.
No, I think our O-line.
We are not whole on that O-line whatsoever.
Dude, honestly, I like what we saw.
Sure.
No, Rue, I beg to differ. I like what we saw out of Brock. I like what we saw at the end out of BB and him, and we had an unhealthy Zach Martin. That's to see if he's coming back. But we did have depth. The only problems we have is that tackle.
We have a problem. We have a question. We have a huge question mark at left tackle, and we have a problem at right tackle.
Oh my
God. It's not everywhere.
Herpes is a problem.
I'm not saying we have a terrible O-line. That's not what I'm saying. We have pieces. But Zach Martin's another year older. We don't know if he's going to play another year or what he's going to be like. This is probably the first year that we've ever seen Zach Martin look human. Terrence Steele is a turnstile. And Tyler Guyton is still coming into his own as a left tackle. I believe in Tyler Guyton, but he's still a giant question mark. He's still raw. Going into year two, we're hoping that he takes a step up going into year 2 because he's got to be better than he was in year 1.
But remember,
and then basically exactly what are you left with? And then think about it. What are you left with? Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Brock Hoffman.
Don't forget about the Oregon guy. I always forget his name.
I can't think of it right now, but either way, you're talking about pieces. I mean, maybe TJ Bass or something like that.
TJ Bass,
Maybe
exactly.
that's
I
what you're
always want to
talking
say
about.
Rags.
But at the end of the day, they were in a situation where they literally had the best O-line in football. They literally have the best O-line in football. With how many running backs are coming into this draft, I mean, are we really against? Now I can't even. Are we? I mean,
I
are you
like
really
the
against
kid that
taking?
broke
Are
your
you really
back
against
in the-
taking a left tackle or a defensive end that you need to replace DeMarcus Lawrence with that 13th pick, and then maybe picking up Scattaboo in the 3rd and the 4th
No,
round?
I want to get the kid. I want to get the kid that broke your back on the screen at the end of the half from Henderson. That kid he was electric.
He's
He
fast.
could break away. As much as it would hurt to see Scattaboo, I know it would hurt to see Henderson on the squad, but whatever happens to Cowboy.
Well, like I said earlier in the show when we was playing Coach Schottenheimer's introductory press conference, he pimped his hand about he wants to run the damn ball. Okay, so
dude, that's music to our ears.
When you pimped your hand, you telling me you drafting a running back. Okay, it may not be the first round, but my whole thing is if Genty is sitting there at fucking 12 and you walk away, I think that's asinine. That's dumb. That's dumb as shit. Because if you got the chance to get the best running fucking back, and you know this is a missing piece to your offense, and it's proven that it helps Dak Prescott.
Real quick, Chris. I'm gonna propose a question to you. You're sitting there at 12. By some miracle, Kelvin Banks falls to you at 12, or you can take Genty. Who you taking?
He will. That's the LSU kid, right?
No, that's the Texas
Kelvin
kid.
Banks. Kelvin Banks plays left tackle for Texas.
Okay.
You're taking Kelvin Banks Jr. or you're taking Genty. Who you taking?
This is a running back heavy.
You mean the Kelvin Banks who got destroyed by Georgia's defensive ends at home? Him?
That wasn't on his side.
Yes, it was, Rue. Yes,
man
it
had
was.
one bad game in 4 years of football, and that's all we're going to focus on.
Okay,
one bad game in 4 years of football. That's all we're going to focus on.
All I'm going to say is
it was an elite.
He can talk more than us. He knows what he is.
It's an elite defensive end. Okay, that against
one
the
bad
elite
game. Okay, tell me how he played in the second game. Tell me how he played in the second game. Tell me how he played in the second game.
He played elite like he was supposed to play in the first fucking game. Okay.
Well, he made up for it. It's a push.
But to answer your question, okay, you drafted a first round tackle, right? Already, okay, and still is under fucking contract, right? So you're not gonna get rid of him.
Let's look at his contract
because Jerry say the cap.
It's up after this year.
No, it's not. It's not. Check it. It's not. You got 2 more years. Okay. So you're not gonna get rid of Steele. So only other position you would draft was guard, and that's because we don't know what Martin is gonna be. But you got to back up with Hoffman. You got Hoffman there. You got TJ Bass. So right now, you don't really need a fucking offensive lineman. You need a fucking running back that we've been bitching about for 3 fucking years. So yes, I'm gonna draft the running back if it was me. If we're sitting there at 12 and Genty is there, I am. That's me. Oh, we're going to get into a lot of draft because Kuiper's been working furiously about that.
I already got some shit, man. I already got some players.
We got to get better at our draft.
So, but what I'm saying is, Rue, I love your guy from Texas. I love him. He's a great tackle. I was just rebutting about, just one bad. I know he had one bad game, but okay. But what I'm saying is, man, we gotta help number 4. They took this fucking coach for Dak Prescott and Dak Prescott only. Okay, and the only way you could help him is give Dak a fucking running game.
We have Terrence Steele to 2028. So get used to it.
Dude, I told
Oh my God.
No, we don't.
This is his contract. Hold on.
Yeah, we can't
That's his
see
pay rate.
You're fucking lying. They signed him to that long of a deal. Did he get extended?
They restructured him, but after the guarantee, he stops getting guarantees until 27.
Yeah. So
20. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm saying is, bro, I understand what you're saying, Rue. I know how you feel about running backs. I know how you feel about them. But to me, all the running backs this year prove every fucking GM wrong when they say, "Oh, we can get such and such, and we can get such and such." Then when they started doing that shit and they was getting these steals in the late rounds, it's because they had already had running backs. They had nobody else to draft, and then they hit for them. So then everybody said, "Oh, we can get running backs at the end." That's dude. We know all the fucking great running backs except for maybe Terrell Davis. Has been high first, second round picks. They have not been late rounds.
I'll say this too.
Right now.
On that too. You look at the difference between the top tier running backs and the ones that everybody says, you got them in the third round. They're not as skilled as the first rounders. They're good, but they're not as skilled as Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Elliott for 3 years.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the third round picks are not as skilled, but they're good. They need a lot more help too.
Derrick Henry.
All I'm saying,
hold on,
if I can get Scatterboo, if I can get Scatterboo in the third round, I feel like that's a steal.
But
that kid
I'm down
impressed
for
the
some
shit out of me.
Scatterboo. I ain't gonna lie.
That kid impressed the shit out of me.
Derrick Henry got caught in that wash back then, because remember he was on the Cowboys board, right? And second round came around, and they thought they should have got him in the first round, but they didn't. And they came around.
Zeke.
No, they took Zeke. They're in the same draft.
That was the Zeke year.
You're right. I'm sorry, but what I'm saying is the reason why he went second round is because wasn't it another running back other than Zeke taken before him too?
I think the only reason Derrick Henry fell to the second round
got
is
Jalen
because
Smith
the
in the
likes of
second
every
round,
running
didn't
back
we?
from Alabama that came before him. Mark Henry.
Yeah, we got Jalen Smith in the second round that year.
Well, no, I was talking about other teams drafted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
What I'm saying is Derrick fell. If we're talking about why Derrick fell, I think it's because every running back that came from Alabama before him was like a bust. They just did not pan out. All of them didn't pan out. I think the only one might have been Mark Ingram. But other than that, there was a plethora of running backs that were coming out of Alabama that just
Look at
were
how
getting
skinny that
used
guy
and
looks
abused.
right there.
Yeah, man, he is skinny as shit, man.
Good.
He lost the widow's peak.
Still going.
Hey, that damn
Congratulations, bro.
that damn New Year's resolution is kicking.
No, this was a spontaneous deal. I was into this to support my wife, and I kind of just got addicted to it. This was day 9 today.
That's awesome, bro.
Well, look, man, I'm sure you heard us going back and forth from the owners to picks to coaches. What's on your mind, Corner? Welcome to the Cowboy Up Podcast.
First of all, big fella, don't be spreading fake news on the Cowboy Up Podcast. Terrence Steele is a cap casualty, and if they cut him today, they will save $11 million on the cap. Do you want me to say
That's
that again?
a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Cap casualty. And on top of that, Terrence Steele is a Mike McCarthy pet cat. Where's Mike McCarthy at on this team?
Bye.
He's no longer with us.
Okay. Second thing, the special teams coordinator, Nick. And I don't even know how to say his last name. I don't care.
Sorry.
This hire was more of a question mark than Scotty Too Hottie. 100%. Because he's only been coaching. This will be his 5th year coaching, period. He came in as a special teams assistant for, I think it was Miami or something. It doesn't matter where he came in, but he was a special teams assistant, okay? Then he got his shot with the Jaguars as a special teams coordinator. The dude was horrible. Ranked 32nd in special teams. Disaster. He got fired. Then he went from special teams to defensive coordinator passing game with the 49ers, and 49ers canned his ass because they failed and declined at every passing, running, everything. You name it.
Yep.
And then he comes back after working the defense side of the ball to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you right now, and I tweeted this earlier, Turpin and Aubrey are going to have to coach their coach because this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
He's right about that Niners shit, though. They digress a lot.
Dude, this was the most. Now, Matt Eberflus, big fan. Big
I like
fan of Matt Eberflus. If y'all don't know, Matt Eberflus was here, the linebackers coach from 2011 to 2017. He came under Rob Ryan, and he stayed with Rod Marinelli for a little bit.
Marinelli,
And he got promoted to the Indianapolis Colts, and he was top 10 defense 3 years in a row. That's how he got promoted to head coach. Now, we can't dog a guy at failing at a head coach because sometimes you're better at a coordinator than you are a head coach. Let me tell you this. One name, Dan Quinn. Hello. Was a horrible coach at the Atlanta Falcons, came back as a coordinator for us, and totally turned our Mike Nolan defense around.
Said Wade Phillips.
Right? And so I like Matt Eberflus. I think he's going to bring some nastiness to the front seven, and he's going to help that out. But other than that, dude, the Scotty Too Hottie hire, look, Bruce said it already. It kind of hyped me up, too. I ain't going to lie. Bruce said it hyped me. I was watching the whole show as I was working out. Thank you for the content as you guys were in my ear. And so it hyped me up, too. Then I was like, hold up. Who the hell is Scott? Who's this guy? So I had to really step back and just say, prove me wrong.
Yep.
And so, I think the greatest thing for Scotty Too Hottie was to bring in Matt Eberflus. He has a little bit of experience from a former head coach that can be in his ear. And so that's the only thing I can help for. The special teams coordinator, put him up where Dan Quinn used to be. Keep him away from our players. The guy don't know shit about football. He just don't. That Nick dude, horrible.
Well, all during the Jerry press conference, I was thinking the Cowboy Corner saying, "Hey, they hired this guy for Dak Prescott," and basically,
I said that
it was just like Dak is in the audience cheesing, everybody. I was just
he couldn't stop smiling.
He couldn't stop smiling, and I was just like,
you know why? Because you don't have to learn a new offense. That's why. The burden of learning something new is off his shoulders. He can go back to making babies and building houses. That's all he cares about right now.
Fucking house too, shit.
Well, he also pimped his hand about the running game. I think he pimped his hand about saying he's gonna draft a running back. What do you think?
Who else said running game? Was it Mike McCarthy that said running game? Oh, we're gonna run the ball.
I love it, Corner. I fucking love it right now.
We're gonna run the ball.
But the only difference here, Corner, is that he actually has the resume to say he runs the ball.
Why? Because
Mike
he had
McCarthy
Marshawn Lynch.
never ran the fucking ball ever.
Because he had Marshawn Lynch. That's his resume.
He ran the damn ball, didn't he?
You have Marshawn Lynch.
You still got Russell Wilson.
But that wasn't peak Marshawn Lynch. That was declining Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch never declined.
Marshawn was a monster.
Oh yeah,
come on.
He retired. Obviously, they sent him to the fucking Raiders. Obviously,
I think Marshawn Lynch could play for the Raiders right now. with the bottle of Henny.
Lynch is a gangster. I love Marshawn Lynch. Everybody loves Marshawn.
I think it's all talk right now. I think it's all talk right now until they prove me wrong. Because it's the typical. I mean, you guys said it best on the show already. They already said they're not doing anything in free agency.
We know it.
You have 24 free agents. 14 of them are over 30. You look at the opponents. If you keep the same blueprint as last year, you're setting up Scotty Too Hottie for failure in his first year.
Is this just a stepping stone for Jason Witten? Is that what we're doing right now? Is that what they're setting us up for? Because I keep hearing about Jason Witten too.
I'll tell you who they're setting it us for. You ready? Archie Manning. What?
I said that earlier.
What? Archie Manning's coming home.
You want Archie though? You gotta be number one. Because I'll tell you what, everybody was lining for him too.
I guarantee you, if you look at our opponents, Kuiper, we're going like 200.
He's not coming out next year.
He is.
Archie's got 2 years left. Archie's got
no, he can come out next year.
Rue hopes he has 2 more fucking years.
He got 2 years. He got 2 years. We got 2 years of Arch Manning. I got 2 years of that.
Yeah, he got 2 more years. You're right.
But you know what's in 2? You know what's funny though? Scotty Too Hottie gets 4 years. Dak Prescott has 4 years remaining.
Booyah! Hey guys, I gotta go in early. I love y'all. I missed y'all. You already know. 520. Freaking you fill in and finish for me, corner, because you're fucking Mariano Rivera in it like a motherfucker.
All right,
I
tag me
love
in.
y'all. You
Tag
already
me
know.
in. There we go.
All right, man. All right, man. Jesus. Oh my God.
Oh, shout out to my homie Cowboys blog right there.
What's up, Cowboys blog? Man,
What's up, Cowboy blog?
This, when I went live on TikTok the other day because I had the vent, I thought I was over it. I think I'm more stressed today than I am just talking to you guys. Because one of the guy on TikTok, I forget the content creator's name, but he said, as a Cowboy fans, where is your optimism? Are you optimistic about the team? And I sat there and I really tried to think about this, where is the optimism as a Cowboy fan? And I was like, I'm not optimistic. Corner just said, you just see our schedule. And the reason he said that is because what we have on the team, what our front office is doing. So it gives you no optimism. So Rue, I'm gonna start with you. Are you optimistic about the team?
No, I have no reason to be optimistic because they've already told me the answer to the question that's been burning inside me this whole time. What are you going to do with your $50-60 million in cap space? And the answer is obviously nothing. They're not going to do anything with it. They're going to sign Micah Parsons. They're going to sell tickets with Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons, and they're going to be a middle of the pack offense and a middle of the pack team. There's nothing to look forward to. It's like all I really have to hang my hat on is the draft, because I know your cheap ass ain't gonna do shit the rest of the year. So it's like, it's really, man, it's just business as usual, and that's what hurts more than anything, because we have an opportunity to take advantage of this weak conference and get ourselves to an actual game, an NFC Championship, a Super Bowl. But they won't make the moves necessary to make this happen. They're content with what they have, and all I can say, you can stay content. These fans will turn on you eventually. You will see this fan base turn, and I'm already seeing it. I've got so many friends and so many people that I know that are just so sick of this nonsense that they're just like, I can't cheer for this fucking team. They're full of shit.
Cowboy Corner, are you optimistic about this team, brother?
I'm optimistic that we're getting closer and closer to the end of that Dak Prescott contract. That's what I'm optimistic about. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. Because once Dak's gone, you get to hit a reset button. I don't care if we got lucky that we found Dak. Yeah, we did. The 12-5 seasons could have easily been 5-12. I understand that. But the ceiling's peaked when he was second in MVP. That was his ceiling. Then he got hurt this year, and it's only going to get worse. So I'm optimistic that we're getting closer to the end of that contract.
You still got 4 years, bro.
I'll tell you this though, he takes another season-ending injury. Is he coming back?
I was listening to 105.3 The Fan. And they said, "Well, you got an elite Dak," and someone cut that radio guy off. He was like, "If he gets hurt again, he's out of the elite conversation." He's been out of the elite conversation. The only thing elite about Dak Prescott is his paycheck, $60 million a year. Other than that, it's mediocre. And then he's up there cheating. He's up there cheesing because you don't have to learn anything new. It's going to be the same flipping offense. What's there to be happy about? There's nothing to be optimistic about. Nothing. You know what? I would have been super stoked if Dak and Mike left and we got a new head coach, and Schottenheimer wouldn't even be here. We would have got a new head coach. We had a new salary cap standpoint, and we would have had a new quarterback. And we'll go try something different. I would have been more happy than with that. With the unknown than the known. 100%.
All right. Well, Cap, I know you ain't optimistic, but I want to hear your take.
No, man. I still think next season is going to be way more bleak than this season for you guys, because you look at the team, how it's structured right now. That defense has more holes then it has answers. You
I
Michael
hope that was
Parsons,
underwear.
obviously. You got Deron Bland, but Diggs just got another setback and another surgery on his knee. He's not coming back. He's too injury prone, and you can't rely on him for shit, honestly. Deron Bland, he's another injury prone type of guy. Are you gonna really? Can you actually come on? He's that knee injury that he just had. Was it a knee or it was an ankle?
It was a foot. He fractured a foot. He had a hairline fracture in his foot.
Okay, so he might not be injured from, but still, the defense is missing safeties. It's missing 2 linebackers. It's missing 2 DTs because Mozzie Smith ain't shit, and Odigizua is leaving free agency. You're right. Your defensive end opposite of Michael Parsons.
We don't know if Osh is leaving.
Well, he's still a free agent.
We don't know if he's leaving though. That might be one of those, managerial.
He's gonna get signed for at least 20 though. The way that DTs get signed in free agency, the way free agency works.
Odigizua is gonna get?
I think he gets 20 million. I do think he gets 20 million because somebody's gonna overpay for DTs. Everybody always overpays for a DT. So I think this defense next year you're gonna see another decline in it because the players that you do have, they're getting older, and the players that are leaving more holes than anything else. And on offensively, you have CD and who? Who else is there?
Shit.
CD and who? We got Jalen Brooks.
And there's only so much you could do in the draft, man. There's only so much you could do draft wise. If you're not doing anything free agency wise, it's gonna be a top 10 pick next year.
We got Jonathan Mingo, our 4th round pick. Kuiper. Come on, keep up, man.
You see why I say, about if the running back's there. I mean, because lack of playmakers on the offensive side is just something else. Go ahead, corner.
I don't think you have to draft Genty in the 1st round. The running backs in this class is so heavy that if Genty's gone, what they do? You can find a lot of running backs in this draft. You can give away 2 of your comp 5ths to trade back into the 4th and get a stud. You just can't. If they go wide receiver or if they go O-line in the 1st round, it's not rich at all. It's safe. It checks a box, but you have to hit. You have to hit. Period. We can't have Tyler Guyton out here. We can't have Chaz Green out here. You have to hit. You just have to. We can't have Roy Williams, the wide receiver, number 11, out here. You have to hit at that number 1 pick.
Why am I Longhorns catching strays out here, man? Damn. Roy Williams, you just pulled that out of your ass, man. Like,
no, that's yes. How much draft value do we give up for that? I'll wait.
A lot.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't. And what did he do?
Nothing.
Not shit.
Way better in Detroit. When they traded for him, I was like, "Oh man, that's gonna be big." And I was so disappointed.
Every time he scored a touchdown, you barely seen it, but it was.
Oh man, that one.
A real Longhorn sighting.
I will take that. I will take that. It is what it is. He wasn't the best. He was a beast at Texas, though. We love you, Roy. Yeah. We still love you.
Texas. All right, man. Look, man, we come into final thoughts. Jesus, man. I need a beer. My Cowboys have frustrated, even in the all season, I'm frustrated with them. We'll start with Kuiper, man. We'll go with you first, man. Give me your final thoughts for tonight.
Fuck Taylor Swift.
Whoa!
Fuck Taylor Swift. Because she ruined the game of football. She gave the NFL money. She might have given us money for the league, okay? But she created one of the worst problems I've ever seen in my young life as a football fan, okay? She made the Chiefs the team for the NFL every game that I've seen in the playoffs this year that the Chiefs have played in, you see blatant and utter just like favoritism, man. Favoritism, every single flag. They might not get as many flag calls, but dude, the calls that were made on Sunday, that interception or that catch that Marquise Brown had, that was an interception for whatever safety was there that caught it. I'm sorry, Dalton Kincaid had a first down before Josh Allen got stuffed on that fourth down. That was a first down, and you could see that one of the line judges had the right call on a first down, and the other one had it a yard back. The yard back one, for some reason, overruled the one that had the right call. And at the end of the game, when it was fourth down for the Bills, they threw a flag on the field, and the announcers saw it too. The refs threw a flag on the field, and after the play, nobody said shit. They kept it in their pocket, and they said, "We didn't throw anything."
I'm going to take it to the morning.
Why do you think that is? Because it was rigged, and they were getting ready to bail out the Chiefs in case the Bills got the first down. So fuck Taylor Swift because she created that shit. She did that.
All right, we hate Taylor Swift. All right, Cowboy Corner. Hey man, give me your final thoughts, man.
First of all, Taylor Swift has no power in that. It ain't her fault that the camera goes on her. And you're missing the mark here. Maybe you're too young. I don't know your age, but there was a point in time where the camera was on Jessica Simpson wearing a pink number 9 jersey. You know what I'm saying? She's just there to support her boyfriend. It ain't her fault the camera pans to her. If you want to blame the refs and somebody, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's begging for flags. He's flopping. He's in the referee's heads, and then he does a good job at it. He flops more than a basketball guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I think and then Taylor Swift puts her money where her mouth is. She'll go spend hours at a children's hospital and make sure she meets almost every sick child in that damn hospital. So, you know, we can lean one way or another, but she's good in that aspect of charity and things of that sort. So I'm off my Taylor Swift soapbox. There should be no politics involved with that. She's just a good human being all around. Now, second thing, guys, it's ugly. It's ugly, and it's only going to get uglier, all right? This is like when you go to a class reunion, and you're like, holy crap, she got fat. Or holy crap, what happened to that guy? He used to be the star quarterback. Like, we're going, like, back to, like, pre-Bill Parcells. Like, it's going to get ugly. And it's just simple fact that Stephen Jones put air quotes on a 30-year drought like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. You know why? You know why? Because we keep putting money in that checking account. Well, I think, what is it? Walmart makes like $100,000 every 3 seconds or something like that. Jerry's making about that every minute because of us, Cowboy fans. And at the end of the day, man, we got a rookie head coach, which I'm not mad about. Not mad about a rookie head coach at all. I like the statistic where if you won a Super Bowl with one team as a head coach, it's hard to win it with another one, and it's never been done. It's never been done. Only 2 quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl with 2 teams. That was Peyton, and that was Brady. So it's very hard to continue that. I mean, look at Mike McCarthy with 36 wins, and the only team in the NFL not to get to an NFC championship game. The only team in NFL history not to do it. Right? It's just hard to get there. And with the rookie head coach, Jason Garrett 2.0, even wears the sun visor like Jason Garrett. I just think, man, 8-8 is going to look really pretty. It's going to look real nice. We're in for an uphill battle, man.
All right, Rue, your final thoughts, Rue, for the night.
2 out of the last 3 years, I've had to watch these fucking Eagles in the Super Bowl. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. If they can take a mediocre quarterback to the Super Bowl twice, there's no reason that we can't. There's no reason that we can't, especially on this side of the bracket. I hope and I pray that one day that man just wake up, conk his head, and realize, hey, if I spend a little money, I might win some games. That's all I want. That's all I want. Just do something. Do anything. Stop with this bullshit of the cap. If I hear cap one more damn time, I think my head's gonna explode. I don't want to hear about the cap. The cap is a fugazi. It's not real. I don't care. Every other team in this league that is relevant in this league is making moves and getting to a game that matters. And that's all I really want. I just want to be in a game that matters. And if you do something this season, maybe you can fill the holes that we have all over this roster right now. But for the love of God, do something more than what you've done. This is literally the definition of insanity. We literally had a repeat episode today because you're doing the same shit you've been doing. And I'm tired, and I want to support this team, and I love this team, and I've been a fan of this team my whole damn life. But at the end of the day, you guys are fucking killing me, man. Just please, enough with this bullshit. Stop selling me the snake oil and make a fucking move. Pull the trigger, swing the bat, and grow some fucking huevos already.
Reach down in there and grab those huevos.
That was fucking beautiful. All right, man. Big fella's final thought, man. You know, I played a lot of Jerry stuff more than I played a lot of Schottenheimer stuff, and I did it on purpose. Is because the 35 years of ownership for Jerry Jones, dude. I used to be the one of the biggest Jerry fans. Okay, I was a huge Jerry Jones fan because Jerry Jones was that gunslinger owner. I'm gonna go get Dion. I'm gonna go get Charles Haley. I'm gonna go get these players that we need to win Super Bowls. But now only thing you hear from Jerry Jones is the cap, the cap, the cap, the cap, the cap. I got a lot of fucking caps. You can count all of them on the goddamn wall because he's capping, as the young folks say. I hope I used it correctly. Okay, because he's fucking capping. All right, it's bullshit that you sit there in the press conference and you tell us how much you care about the fans. You care. You're fucking lying. You don't care. Only thing you care about is we continuously buying the caps and buying the goddamn tickets. It's the only thing you care about. And we are tired of the cap. All right, man. Man, we appreciate everybody in the chat today, man. My guy is always WWE guy, Ivan Sosa. John Center came in. Anthony from Cowboy Can Fan. My man Ron came in. JV21 came in. Aaron came in. Boots on the ground is always in. Freddie E Moves, the guy who made the Cowboy Up podcast theme song, was in here. Our man B2 Real was in here. And always that was Buzz was in here, man. We hadn't heard from Buzz in a long time. But man, if y'all do some Buzz. Yeah, he's on his son. He was on his son's account early in the show. But man, everybody, man, if you guys get a chance, man, hey, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, because we got a lot of cowboy shit to talk about. So in closing, like the big fella always says, Dallas Cowboys for life. We'll see y'all next time.
Cowboys.
There you go, Rue. Peace.
Yeah, let me give a big shout out to St. Louis Joe, bro, in the building. Always WWE Ivan Sosa in the building.
You see him?
You see him? The loyalist. You got Cowboy Beat in the building.
The great Cowboy Beat.
Big shout out, man. Big shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. We only growing, guys. We only growing. It's gonna get bigger, excited. Hey, did you see he got retrofit right in the introduction? I did it.
Hey man, hey,
videos, dancing.
Hold on, Clem. Sometimes I screw up, Clem. Hey man,
Players fuck up.
Hey, yeah, players fuck up. Yeah. First day of pads. Say man, we all played, man. It's just something about that first day. Ain't nothing like it. It is nothing like it, man. Because now to me,
tomorrow tells the truth. Hey, but tomorrow tells the truth.
I'll tell you about I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this shit, man. I know we all co-hosts, but I like to have a little quick monologue before we get into a subject. Your ass always got spread shit and eating wings and
motherfucker sprint.
Calm down.
Calm
down, Mikey. Calm down, Mikey.
What you sprinting right now?
Yeah, we got a long show. We can go as long as you want to, man. So 21, what you got for Brock today, man?
Pleasure to meet you, Brock. I appreciate the love on TikTok, man. Shout out to Brock, man. Welcome to the show. Hey, I got the hard hitting questions, bro. I got the controversial.
You come out with that Waterburger in and out, right?
We kind of keep it light, but big fella, I gotta hit him with Walter Cronkite stuff here.
Okay.
Drake or Kendrick?
See, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have never really grew up liking Kendrick like that, right? I've always been a big Drake fan, so I'm gonna say Drake, but not like us. Like I was telling Terrence the other day, because Terrence is a huge Kendrick fan. I was like, not like us has me feel like a certain way, because I'm like sitting there like vibing in that song, but it's like this is Drake, and I'm a Drake fan over Kendrick any day. So that's about the only Kendrick song I like. Yeah.
And remember, like, subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. If you love us, tell your friends about us. Like.